This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Friday, August 18th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, the recent TED Countdown Summit 2023 in Detroit, United States, tackled some of the knottier issues related to climate change, from the massive amount of money needed to finance the global green transition to the struggle for energy access in developing nations and the ecosystem effects of fast fashion. It offered glimpses of the world-changing solutions already underway to lead the world into a clean, prosperous future for all. Among the speakers was Barbadian economist Professor Avinash Prasad. He offered a three-point plan for the Bridgetown initiative dealing with costs, savings, and revenues. One of his proposals was for new sources of public finance.
Climate change, remember, is the increasing certainty of rising losses. It's uninsurable. So we need new sources of public finance. We need new emission taxes on oil and coal and methane. At the Motley Macron summit in June in Paris, we made some progress towards taxing emissions on the shipping industry. We need more. And we need a small financial transaction tax, like the one you don't even realize you're paying today, that covers the cost of the US SEC. And energy and finance consumption is slanted to the rich.
Professor Prasad also contended that international lending institutions need to provide greater loans.
We need the international multilateral development banks like the World Bank to lend 3 times more on the Sustainable Development Goals, and to make that debt cheap by making it longer and lower cost. They can get halfway there by using the resources they already have. They're very conservative. And the other half, they need rich countries to put in a little bit more capital. Now, some people criticize me for saying, why are you going for cheap loans rather than grants? And I say, if you found $1 trillion stuffed behind a sofa, then okay. But grants will never be enough. And so let's focus the grants on those things that can't be funded any other way because there's no savings and profits.
The professor also suggests that investors have commitments to the developing world.
Solar farms, wind turbines, they make money whilst reducing greenhouse gases. In the rich countries, 81% of that is funded by the private sector. If we want developing countries to move faster than rich countries do, then we want those investors to go to the developing world. They don't today because of the high cost of guaranteeing their returns against the fluctuation of currencies. However, history shows that an international agency capitalized by rich countries that takes a diversified view across time and countries can lower the cost without losing money, and by enough to unblock the flow of investments. And a small group of countries have agreed to move on a pilot this year. 3 buckets: small one for costs, middle one for savings, big one for revenues. There are a couple of things we also need to do that doesn't cost money. We need Barbados-style pause clauses in all debt instruments. When a disaster hits, you'll suspend your interest payments, and debt repayments are suspended for 2 years, added back on till later when you can afford it. It will release billions of dollars and reshape the financial system. And as Prime Minister Motley says, if we want these institutions that were set up in the colonial era, if we want to trust them to save the world, then the people they serve cannot be invisible in the halls of power.
Coming up on the CBC Morning Report, a death threat received by the judge in the Donald Trump election interference case.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you...
The Fulton County Sheriff's Office announced Thursday it is investigating the threats against members of the grand jury that indicted former President Donald Trump. Also, a woman in Texas was arrested Wednesday after she allegedly threatened to kill the federal judge overseeing an election interference case against the former president. The news came just hours after media outlets reported that the purported names and addresses of grand jurors in the Georgia vote tampering indictment had been shared on a far-right message board.
The dark side of the pro-Trump army seems to have been mobilized here, as it was on January 6, 2021. In the case of Washington, D.C., the judge, Tanya Chutkin, was threatened with a voicemail. That voicemail used racial slurs against the judge, who is black. The woman who left the message, or purportedly did so, said that we are looking for you, we want to kill you. That woman was later arrested, apparently using her own phone to make that call. And then in the case of these far-right websites, they have been posting the names and addresses of the jurors here in Atlanta who came down with the indictment of Donald Trump. And of course, that threatens the potential safety of those people. There have been threats posted on those boards against those jurors. In a practical sense, their job has been done. They have already handed up the indictment, so it won't affect those jurors, except in the sense that they might need added security, as will the judge in Washington, D.C. It is very unlikely that judge would choose to step aside. Judges get these kinds of threats all the time. But what it does mean is that a pattern of intimidation that we've seen over and over again has been encouraged by the former president, who did attack the D.C. judge, calling her biased, among other things.
The Economic Community of West African States has said most of its member states are ready to participate in a standby force that could intervene in Niger following a coup there late last month. Defense chiefs from the 15-member regional bloc met in Accra on Thursday as part of the latest efforts to overturn the removal of Mohamed Bazoum, Niger's president, who was deposed in a July 26 coup.
They're in Ghana to discuss military intervention following the coup last month. Its new military leaders have ignored calls to reinstate deposed President Mohamed Bazoum. The junta is planning to charge him with treason. ECOWAS says it's giving diplomacy a chance, but all options are on the table.
Serious interests are at stake here, but that is not going to divert ECOWAS' attention. We just want to tell them that and inform them about the resolve of the ECOWAS heads of state and government to make sure that by all means available, constitutional order will be restored in the country. And this meeting today bears testimony to that.
Charles Stratford is following the meeting in Accra and sent this update.
Some very strong words from defence chiefs attending this closed-door two-day summit in Accra, but we know that ECOWAS is facing a whole host of different problems, first of which is the lack of unity amongst ECOWAS states themselves. For example, the very strong words from the President of the Ivory Coast on the back of last week's ECOWAS summit in Abuja. He described the detention of Niger's president as nothing short of terrorism and promised to supply a battalion of troops to any kind of potential intervention force. But then, of course, you've got to look at countries like Ghana, which are facing serious opposition here by opposition parties for any kind of military action in Niger. It's a similar kind of scenario in various countries across the region. Then, of course, there is the major security concern and causing a wider war. We already know that Burkina Faso and Mali have said any military intervention in Niger would constitute a declaration of war on themselves. And then, of course, there are a whole host of armed groups operating right the way across the Sahel region. Groups affiliated to ISIL and Al-Qaeda that have killed thousands of people, forced millions already to flee their homes. We were in northern Ghana, on the border with Burkina Faso. The Ghanaian authorities there very concerned about any kind of military intervention in Niger because of what it could potentially mean to a security agreement they have with the military leadership of Burkina Faso.
Well, it's time to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados around 6:30. We wrap up the crop over season with DJ Chili as we continue with our Mix It in 5 segment. That's all coming up. Plus, a visit for Junior Optimists International. We'll tell you all about that and what they're doing to change the lives of young people all across the world. Plus, we look forward to a big celebration tomorrow. World Humanitarian Day is coming up. We're going to tell you more about that. And we have a big message for you from the Barbados National Oil Company Limited. That's all today on Morning Barbados, but that's at 6:30. Next, we have more news, sports, and weather. Stay with us.
The One is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One.
Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing...
Legislative changes are being made to increase the number of police officers in Barbados. The news comes as the island records the highest number of new members in at least a decade. CBC's Sharika Griffith reports.
55 new police officers proudly displaying the training they've received over the past 6 months. But there was one obvious standout, Constable 2357 Shanice Lovell. Out of the 13 awards presented during the 147th Passing Out Parade, she claimed a staggering 11, including Best Recruit. This year's class represented a significant increase in recruits, up from 18 in 2017 and the 30s in the last few years. Attorney General Dale Marshall attributes it to an enhanced recruitment drive, which included advertisements and social media posts. But he notes this must be taken in context, as individuals also continue to leave the service due to retirement, resignation, medical discharge, and death.
In 2018, 58 officers left the service. In 2019, 36. In 2020, 30. In 2021, 27 officers left the service. And so far, in 2020, so far for this year, I believe, 2022, we had 53 leaving, and so far for this year, we've had 33 officers leaving. So if you compare the intake with those numbers of individuals leaving, you will see that we don't exactly have an equation that is leaning heavily towards increase in numbers.
While promising a fast tracking of better benefits as the finances of the country permit, Mr. Marshall also revealed plans to amend the Police Act to include 46 special constables and 36 island constables.
Already steps are being taken to fully incorporate the special constables into the police service. This has been long in coming by making amendments to the Police Act, and those amendments are currently on my desk for my final sign-off and will be in Parliament within the next 6 weeks. We'll also be looking at making sure that our hard-working island constables are not left behind.
Commandant Rodney Archer says this year's course featured a shift away from hard copy to electronic lesson notes, in keeping with the service's drive to modernize operations.
This training, for the first time, included drone pilot training, thus expanding that pool of officers who can be fully trained up to be qualified drone pilots.
And Acting Commissioner of Police Erwin Boyce has warned the new officers to treat people fairly.
I do believe that within the past 6 months that you would have been taught how to manage police powers, as well as certain aspects of emotional intelligence. I wish to warn you that poor customer interaction will not be tolerated in the Barbados Police Service.
Already, 66 individuals are being vetted for the next cohort of police trainees. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
A united front is being mounted by residents, vendors, the National Conservation Commission and the Christchurch South Member of Parliament Ralph Thorne to address the issues plaguing the Dover Beach facility. Complaints range from infrequent garbage collection to improper drainage and vagrants. Yesterday, a handful of entrepreneurs, residents, representatives from the Commission and the MP walked through the area to chart the way forward. The parliamentarian says the meeting signifies a new beginning.
This is the heart of tourism in Barbados. I know I've focused on the importance of treating it well because we live here. But if we choose to invite people here, we invite our state agencies to respect business and to respect the people who come here and to respect the people who live here and to treat this area well. I cannot think of any problem that is beyond solution. And Lorenzo, thanks again. This is the beginning of the effort to resolve problems in this area. It begins that consultation, so that this consultation will be more important than what we do hereafter.
So the NCC's chairman, Senator Lorenzo Harewood, says the entity is committed to addressing the issues.
We are 100% committed to the upkeep of this particular facility. I've been hearing about these situations remotely, and you know, sometimes people make this statement, if you want to kill the snake, you need to cut off your head. And that is a negative statement. But if you really want to deal with issues, I believe that the head of these organizations ought to see what is happening rather than hear about them remotely on the radio or on social media. This is the reason why I'm here with the Deputy General Manager this morning, Ms. Jessamy. I've asked some other members of the National Conservation Commission to be here so that we can tackle the multitude of issues that have been raised in the public domain.
Barbados will soon have the largest conference facility in the Caribbean. This from Senior Minister in the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for infrastructural projects, Dr. William Duguid. CBC's Trevor Thorpe has that story.
The conference facility will be located at the 27-acre Wyndham Grand Barbados Sam Lawrence Castle Resort. Senior Minister in the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for infrastructural projects, William Duguid, says it will open up opportunities in meetings, incentive, conference and exhibitions, or MICE market.
It gives us and opens up a part of our tourism product that has been lacking for a long time, because many people want to have a conference facility that has the hotel right next door and doesn't have that transportation. So what this will add to our opportunities is to bring that, what they call the MICE market, and to get that so that we can actually go after that type of business. And I think that is a significant part, a cog in our tourism market that was lacking, and that's what this hotel will offer for the people of Barbados.
Minister of Tourism and International Transport Ian Goodin-Edghill says the 422-room five-star property will strengthen the country's hand in future negotiations in the tourism market.
Certainly another 422 rooms on the island would allow us, when we meet with our airline partners, to demonstrate Barbados' capacity for increased airlift into Barbados. When we are on the road meeting with the airline executives, this, along with other developments to come, we showcase and highlight. And it is a wonderful opportunity for us to have additional inventory on the island and to drive airlift to Barbados, and this will certainly help us in driving the airlift to Barbados, in addition to creating all the many exciting opportunities for employment and future economic development in the country.
Bookings for the resort will begin on August 21st, ahead of a soft opening set for September 30th.
Thanks, Trevor. In an attempt to address the growing need in a number of areas, including budding oil and gas industry, the University of Guyana, UG, has been expanding its programs.
In an interview with News Source, the Vice Chancellor at the University of Guyana, Professor Dr. Paloma Mohammed, said within the last 3 years, the university introduced a total of 21 new programs to meet the demands of the country. An Associate of Science in Petroleum Engineering and a Bachelor of Science in Supply Chain Management are among the new disciplines introduced by the university.
So within the last 3 years, we have created 21 different programs within the university where there were gaps and we didn't have people training before. So we have done that. So things like supply chain, for instance, petroleum engineering, chemical engineering, etc. Those programs which might have been nascent or non-existent, we have been doing those.
All the new areas of study that have been introduced at the University of Guyana include a Bachelor of Science degree in Accountancy, Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship, Bachelor of Science in Marketing, and Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science. Given the additional programs that are currently being offered, the university has increased its annual intake.
We are trying our very best to increase our intake in programs that are in high demand. And so you would note that over the last 3 years, we have increased our intake by about 1,000 students a year to ensure that we're adding that number of students to the labor pool in the country.
In February of last year, the University of Guyana graduated over 2,000 students from 50 disciplines. That number is likely to increase this year.
In Jamaica, the outpouring of assistance for victims of the firebombing attack in Gregory Park in Catherine has those affected feeling hopeful in their quest to get back on their feet. Dozens of people were left homeless after suspects set fire to 11 homes in that community.
Although life is so hard, still I have to go on.
Good Samaritans are helping residents off Walker's Avenue, Portmore, to press on amidst the challenges. They came in the form of police officers within the St. Catherine South Division and the Sarah's Children Charity. With a little over 2 weeks remaining before the new school year commences, residents received money, stationery, and children's clothing. School supplies victims say they were already purchasing but lost during the fire.
We brought clothing value of over 250,000, and we also have some cash to give you. Okay, and we're gonna get your account numbers because tomorrow we're gonna be sending some more cash, and we're committed to helping you until you're back on your feet again.
Expressing their commitment to helping residents regain a sense of normalcy, Deputy Superintendent of Police Paulette Baker says the Shop with a Cup initiative introduced in 2022 will be used to assist the residents.
We started an initiative, Shop with a Cup, where police officers from their pockets donated amount of $10,000 to needy children, for the Christmas. I will use this opportunity to encourage other persons to come on board with us.
Although the victims are grateful for the donations, they're still pleading for more support, as there is still much to be done.
This is a token towards food for our children, and maybe it can pay even a hotel fee for the night. We are very thankful for what we get, and may God bless them and keep them to continue can give us until this disaster over.
On Wednesday, a Baltimore TV news photographer became part of the story he was working on. While covering a story about an escaped inmate, the photographer came face to face with that very person.
State and county police spent 7 hours Wednesday searching for Randy Morris. The 38-year-old escaped from a prison van in Annapolis Junction. The command center cleared out around 3:30. Not long after that, a WBAL-TV photographer spotted Morris.
I was in the car editing the story for 5 o'clock, and I just happened to look up from my laptop, and I saw Mr. Morris.
Photographer Mac Finney and reporter Kate Amara were covering news of the escaped inmate.
He gave me his name, and at that time I was calling 911, and I got 911 on the horn. And when he realized I was talking to 911, he started running a little bit through this parking garage.
Amara's cell phone video shows Morris then running away across railroad tracks into brush and down a nearby street. What happened next unfolded live from Baltimore's only news helicopter, Sky Team 11.
Eluding police for nearly 7 hours here in this area. Police left, cleared out. Oh, they apparently, let's go to Captain Roy right now. Roy, did they just nab him?
Yes, they have caught him. We're showing live video right now of the individual that has just been arrested by local law enforcement here.
Finney says the encounter was surreal and a first for the experienced photojournalist.
What an experience. In sports, the Barbados Royals are slow out of the blocks for the 2023 Republic Bank CPL, losing their opening fixture last night to host St. Lucia Kings. The Kings won the toss and batted at the Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium and posted an imposing 201 for 6 off their 20 overs. Sean Williams top scored with 47 off 30 deliveries. That included 3 4s and 2 6s, while skipper Faf du Plessis added 46. Jason Holder took 4 for 36. We have the highlights from that innings.
It was all about that. The second best opening pair last year, but the best team in the power play. And it's been because of this destruction. A few chances put down by the Barbados Royals, 3 of them, and that was a crucial one because Charles went on to do damage, but he's really improved against spin as well as Faf du Plessis. He's been stunning throughout his career. What have you liked the most about this approach, Danny?
Well, the positivity for a start, but again, the class of Faf using his feet around the crease, and of course, you bowl in that slot area. Johnson Charles will do that to you every night of the week. And a bit more luck again, but he does go hard, those hands. And up against his old mate Jason Holder, who got the better of him with a little chop on. Oh, disgusting. And he got that so sweet. I was gutted. I wanted to kick on and see this young lefty keep going. And then Sean Williams and another Southern African, the skipper Faf du Plessis, just showing his class all around the park, and really good bit of entertainment.
Faf hit a few big blows before he was dismissed. Good catch on the boundary by Joshua Bishop, but this middle phase, Sakanda Raza and Sean Williams did so well to put on 45 from just 23, and because of their ability against spin, it took the Royal Spinners out of the game, forced Robman Powell to go pace on, and boy, Sean Williams, first franchise tournament for him, and made the most of it so far. Qais Ahmed, bit of innovation to go with the quicker one to get Williams, but that middle phase going at 9 runs and over set up the last 5, where they powered it home after a couple of wickets.
Yeah, and you just wondered if they'd ran out of steam there, but Primus, doesn't he hit it hard, and Roston Chase got a little too cute there. But again, some really good little cameos down the order. Primus, he was rather animated there, but still, to breach 200, I think you'd take that at the toss.
Now in reply, the Royals were bowled out for 147 off their 20 to lose by 55 runs. Naeem Young led the batting with 48, inclusive of a 4 and 4 sixes, while player of the match, Matthew Ford, took 3 for 12. Today's an off day in the CPL. Tomorrow there's a doubleheader, Trimbago Knight Riders versus St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots at 10 a.m. and Kings against Guyana Amazon Warriors at 7 p.m. The 10 a.m. fixture will be live on TV8, while the 7 p.m. game will air tape delayed from 7:35 p.m. Let's take a look at today's weather. The barometric pressure stands at 10 109.1 millibars. The air temperature is 27.6 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity stands at 86%, and the winds are blowing out of the east at 26 kilometers per hour. Present temperature cloudy with haze. Be careful with that Sahara dust outside. Sea conditions for Barbados for today: moderate in open water with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and increasing. And here's a look at how the tides roll in for today. Have a great time at the beach if that's what you're doing. General conditions for Barbados: partly sunny with a few scattered light showers during the morning period. And into the evening, here's what you can expect: cloudy with clear periods with a few intermittent scattered light to moderate showers. And that's today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 on our radio network of stations 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados is next.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you and welcome to another presentation of Morning Barbados. It's so good to have you with us. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. It's Friday. That's enough for excitement, right? I mean, if you have a weekend off, there are many of us who still work through the weekend, but that's okay. A special welcome to those of you who are joining us online, whether you're following our YouTube or Facebook streams, or you're just reaching out from where you are. Yeah? Always good to have you in company. So we have a great show planned for you today. As we look toward a big UN celebration tomorrow, we definitely will be sharing with you about what's coming up this weekend as well. But tomorrow is World Humanitarian Day, and I want you to think about that before we get there. The United Nations World Humanitarian Day is held on August 19th every single year, and the day honors all humanitarians who have worked in the promotion of the humanitarian cause. So I know that there are lots of people out here who are working to help others, and we love to showcase those people, but it makes all the difference when we do it for our neighbors or friends, sometimes people we don't even know. It truly makes all the difference. So also on today's show, we are holding on a little longer to crop over. I know it's kind of over. There's still a few what we call cool down zests or cool down fests that you'll be heading out to. But our DJ Chili has been doing the Mix It in 5, so we're going to reveal the results of the last Mix It in 5, and we're going to get to talk to DJ Chili a little bit about how his season was. He's going to be heading back to New Jersey soon, so we definitely want to check in with him and see how things are going. Also, I'm very interested in finding out how one DJ can get 30 songs in a 5-minute mix. Yeah, that definitely is some talent. Also on today's show, we are back with Leroy Georgie Straker, who is a veteran Calypsonian, and Leroy is always a very, very interesting interview. He will be here. I don't know if you remember last time he was here, he came dressed as a jockey. I don't know what stunt Leroy will pull today, but we're always happy to have him here sharing with us. He truly is a treasure trove of information. So we're going to be happy to have Leroy here as we prepare you for the upcoming weekend. We will also share all of the wonderful activities that we want to invite you to be a part of. Now, we're going to start off today's show with speaking with some young men who are a part of Junior Optimists International. We have with us Tyrone Smith, who is Junior Optimist. Anderson, District Treasurer for the Optimist International Caribbean District. And this, of course, is a visit for the Caribbean District Governor Tyrone Smith. So good morning to you, sirs.
Good morning. morning. Good morning.
Good to have you with us.
It's good to be here.
All right, so I'm going to let you, first of all, Mr. Smith, set the tone for the reason for being here in Barbados.
No problem. The reason is that in Barbados we have 6 Optimist clubs spread out, and the visit is to facilitate a meeting with the members and to fellowship with them and, you know, just have a jolly good time and get to know more about them and discuss plans in how we can better the Joy district here.
All right, Mr. Grandison, tell me about Junior Optimist International here in Barbados.
Okay, well, I can start from the Caribbean level. So we have about 34 clubs across the Caribbean. Jamaica, Barbados, we have clubs in Antigua as well, junior clubs. So these clubs are an arm of the adult district, of which I'm a part of. I started my journey in the junior optimists, and then we go to the adult district. So the clubs, we promote youth development among the young people, so we give them opportunities to learn to lead and also to serve. That's the biggest part, how to give back in service. So the clubs in Barbados here, we have 6 clubs, as Governor said, who are very active. They do a lot of projects, and we're here to support that.
Talk to me about what Junior Optimist means to you, being a part of an organization like this one, even as we look toward, say, World Humanitarian Day tomorrow. Talk to me about what it means to you to be a part of a club like this.
It is truly an honor, because the greatest act of you know, what anyone could do in this life is service, you know, and volunteerism at this level, you know, getting to help people all across the world, because Joy is, you know, an international, on the international scene is just, you know, it's joy all over.
How did you yourself get involved with Junior Optimists?
You know, it was my guidance counselor back in Jamaica, Miss Jennifer Jarrett. She introduced me to the movement back in 2018, and from them I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with service.
I know that Mr. Grandison says that he's past the junior stage, but he could fool us. Yeah, so tell me how you got involved. Did you start from the junior stage and work your way through as well?
Yes, so we have a competition, oratorical competition, a speech contest, and the adult members of the district would have come to Calabar. I went to Calabar as well. We share the same high school, the same alma mater, and they asked to recruit some students to participate in that. And what was interesting about it is they asked to recruit 5 of the shyest boys in the class.
Really?
Them,
so that was a plan.
So you say, well, yeah, and I fell in love with it ever since. I was always shy. They taught us how to do it. So I didn't even win the competition, but I felt like a winner. Because
did you come last? I'm just being bad.
Well, it felt like last because I didn't win. Yeah, but that is the heart of the organization. You know, not just giving a child some clothes or some books, and you take some pictures, but you really develop relationships with the children. So I experienced that, and paying it forward by being a part of the adult movement, and, you know, assisting Tyrone in his own development, encouraging him to pay it forward as well.
No, that's very interesting, because you said, you know, you set out to recruit 5 of the shyest students, and here we are now with a district governor. So talk to me about your move through the organization and how you were able to get to these heights.
Well, it took determination. You know, it took a mindset to say that, you know, service above self, right? And always kids helping kids, right? So throughout the years from 2018, I didn't hold executive positions, but I was always there. You know, there wasn't a project or, you know, an event that missed me concerning Joy. So back in last year or the year before, 2021, I became president of our club at Calabar, and then it was a good year. It was a really good year, and then after that, I became governor.
Let's talk about a few of the projects that you've done throughout the year that you think have been really impactful, not only in your home Jamaica, but all across the Caribbean region. I know you do a lot of linking, which is why the district governor is indeed here. So what are some of the most impactful projects that you've undertaken over the, you know, the recent past?
Okay, do you want to?
Sure.
for Joy?
Sure. So we've had artwork here in Barbados. Our clubs here, they did a mural. I think it's Grantley Prescott. Yeah, I think, yeah, they did that. And there is like giving back charity projects like on Christmas or Easter, and they always been there giving in that form. And even just being there to talk to someone and mentor them, that's a project for us.
For sure. Is it easy, or has it been easy to recruit young people? Because we had a story this morning with the the head of the police service here in Barbados saying, we have as many people moving out of the service as we have moving in, whether it's through attrition or people just leaving. So we need to get as many people or more coming in to be able to equal the numbers. So how has recruitment been in recent times?
It's a challenge, and I'm speaking, and it's globally, all volunteer organizations. When we look at the data, we see volunteerism. If you just look at the numbers, it might seem like it's dying. Less people are being involved, and there might be a myriad of issues surrounding that. Economic challenges, it does take cash to care and the time commitment. But interestingly, we still have persons joining in the Caribbean district. When we look at the net movement, you see the attrition. But what is positive to note about it is we still have over 200 persons joining the movement since the start of the Optimist year, which began October 1 last year. And internationally, about 4,000 new persons joined. So maybe we are becoming more lean in how we serve. The needs are great across the Caribbean, in Barbados, and it's powerful to see young people actually becoming part of the solution. It teaches you so many skills. It teaches them so many skills to give back, get back so much more.
Oh, that's wonderful stuff. I'm sure that once they see all that young Mr. Smith is doing here, they'll be more than interested. Now, I'm told that you are a sixth form student at this caliber. I'm going to have to research, because the way they're saying caliber, they're really, really proud of this school, which is good, because I know there are some high school people here in Barbados that, you have to make sure you say their school name the right way, so I get that. But you're responsible for managing clubs not only in Jamaica, here in Barbados, in Cayman, Anguilla, Antigua, and you're a sixth form student. Are you past sixth form now?
No.
You're just going into sixth form?
Yes.
Yeah, so how are you managing all of this?
Well, time management skills have always been one of my greatest strengths, and I have a very good team that allows for me to focus on myself and also give enough time, more than enough time, to Joy to ensure smooth sailing at all times.
All right, so talk to me about you then. Where are you heading? Do you plan to transition from junior optimist into
Definitely. Definitely.
You didn't even let me finish the question, so that definitely is a yes.
Yes, definitely, because what I received from Joy is so great that it made me where I am now. So seeing that this is possible, I want to be like Garvin, being able to pay it forward to someone else to ensure that they become better than me.
I'm sure that it is no coincidence that the acronym is indeed JOY. I see that joy when you speak about it. So, Mr. Grandison, tell me about your journey yourself with Optimist International, Junior Optimist first and into Optimist International.
Yes, well, since the competition, I have, like Tyrone, started to become more confident in becoming president for the club. And interestingly, when we left high school and went to University of the West Indies, the Mona campus, there was no Optimist club there. And the group of us who left high school from the different high schools formed an Optimist club because we were so passionate about the movement. And then when we left university, we decided to start our own adult club. Actually, we're in our shirt, our logo here, we started the Royal Optimist Club of Kingston. where we served as now at the adult level. And you don't realize it when you're young, when you're in the youth club, the college club, but you're learning so many skills that when you transition into the work world, you're doing interviews much easier, you're leading teams much easier because you got those skills. And managing a volunteer organization with a shoestring budget or zero budget, you transition and learn to deal with different issues throughout your life. And now I'm serving in the capacity of the district treasurer, which is an awesome responsibility, and I'm happy for that opportunity to serve the adult district in that way, and also to inspire youngsters. I was saying to Tyrone yesterday that when I was in high school, I shied away from ever becoming the district governor for joy, and he stepped into the capacity. So as he just said, every time we inspire the new crop of students to achieve and reach out for more. So I've never regretted, never looked back, and I'm paying it forward always.
All right, we're talking to District Governor Mr. Tyrone Smith and District Treasurer Garvin Grandison, and they are with Optimist International. They're here in Barbados on a visit. When we come back, we're going to get a little more specific and talk about the visit and what it will entail. That's all next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fun.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Well, we're always excited to highlight the work of exceptional youth as we're doing this morning right here on Morning Barbados. The time has moved on to just about 13 minutes before 7 o'clock. At the top of the hour, we're going to update you on the news. We're sitting in with Tyrone and Garvin, if I could call you gentlemen that. You have to ask distinguished gentlemen in jackets if you can. I'm kidding. I'm just bad today. It's because it's Friday. But you're in Barbados, so I most certainly hope that they have some wonderful activities planned for you outside of the standard work that you have to do as district governor and district treasurer. Yeah, so let's talk about the Barbados visit. How often does the district governor head out and visit the countries that you have to manage?
Well, this is my first time, right? And it can be understood because we were flooded by exams and all of that. So this is actually my first time traveling physically, but I've been online to other countries like Cayman, Anguilla, and now Barbados.
Yeah, well, as older people, we have to let him know that online thing really is nothing compared to
the physical.
Because now, a lot of younger people are content with, talking online, meeting online, watching movies together online. Nothing beats the real deal. So welcome to Barbados. Yes? Yes. So what are some of the things that you're looking forward to most in being here, gentlemen?
Well, definitely meeting physically, because I said nothing beats the physical. With the clubs in Barbados, yesterday we had a wonderful, a small greeting crew at the airport, which was very nice. So it was nice to actually meet and touch the members. We're going to be visiting the mural, which
it's at the Garrison.
It's at the Garrison.
Yes.
Tomorrow, we're also going to be doing some sightseeing. We definitely asked our governor, the adult governor is here. We asked him just before we came down if we're going to go down to Rihanna Drive to see that. So we definitely want to explore beautiful Barbados. Meet the people, but definitely interact with the club members who are here because each governor, each administration serves for only 12 months, 1 year, and you don't get the time to really meet with the people. And depending on where the governor is elected, whether it be Barbados or Cayman, the members who are in the different countries don't get to see and interact with the governor. And when the governor does travel, it makes a world of a difference when they actually see their governor and get to show the governor what the work that they're doing.
Yeah, that's always a challenge when I think about service organizations and sometimes organizations generally, because if you truly want to, chart a path forward, 1 year is a very short time, because by the time you become accustomed to this new position, it's almost time to transition out. With that said though, Mr. Smith, what are you hoping to accomplish over this year that you're district governor?
Well, we have accomplished so far a few of my goals, which were communication, and I think me visiting Barbados is a big step in that, because as Garvin rightly said, we don't really get the chance to be here that often or see the members that often, because the time span is short. Right, so communication improvements, and I'm looking forward to revamping clubs and getting them back up to proper functioning.
Yeah. What about you? I know you said that you shied away while you were at Calabar.
Yeah.
You shied away from being district governor, but you've continued with the organization.
Definitely.
So you must have some personal goals, not only for you, but for the club as well as an executive member.
Oh yes, definitely. We want to not just grow in numbers, physical volunteers, but we also want to continue doing impactful projects. As I said earlier, one of the things that distinguish the Optimist clubs is our one-on-one relationship with the children that we work with. So we learn the names, and we keep a track of the students as they progress through life. So I want the members to use the different initiatives at our platform to recruit more members. We try to consolidate and ensure that we build strong clubs who are doing impactful projects and helping the youth in the Caribbean, excel and just reach greater heights of success.
Must you be invited to be a part of the club, or can young people just join?
Yeah, you can just join. It's all about you, the person, decision that you want to make in terms of giving service. So we're not gonna, we don't, force people to come. We propose it to you, and if you're okay with it, fine, and you can come to us at all times to give service.
All right, good stuff. Now, I heard the Rihanna Drive cry, and that's not, I don't think that's a tall order. That can absolutely happen, but that says to me that this is your first visit to Barbados. Yes?
Well, it's with the first real visit, the first extended stay. I came earlier this year for like it was a pass-through one day, but I got to pass through. So this is the first time, and definitely the first time for Tyrone.
Yeah?
Yes.
First impression? It's no Jamaica, I know.
No.
I haven't gotten it as yet.
So you came yesterday evening, and you're here this morning.
Right.
So you've only seen the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
all right.
It's beautiful though.
But you have to check in and let me know how it goes. Yes.
Definitely.
Tell me.
Yeah. Beautiful, calm. It's a different pace, but love it here so far.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then you're here on a Friday. I mean, we are the epitome of island time, particularly on Fridays.
Okay.
And we're just off of the Cropover Festival, so
we just missed it. We came one
week
late.
Barely, well, kinda. I mean, if you stick around, you'll still get a taste of the music. We have DJ Chili coming through a little bit later as we wrap up the entire season, but I'm sure you're looking forward to engaging with a lot more of the young people here, and I most certainly hope that this interview this morning will inspire some of the young people here in Barbados to look into Optimist a whole lot more.
Yes.
and see exactly how they can be of help to not only themselves but their communities, because it wasn't lost on me that when I asked you what you hope to accomplish, you started it with we. That means a great deal. So you didn't go back to I, and even the other question I asked you, you said I have a great team.
Yeah.
So that speaks to the type of young man that you are as well. So it's wonderful that you're taking on this leadership role and embracing it with both hands, in that you are sharing the glory with the people who are helping to lift you up. Yeah? On a personal level, though, as a sixth form student, what are you pursuing? And next time you're in Barbados after the university and all this, what titles can we expect?
Well, I want to be a pilot. That's my main goal, but I want to do a degree in humanities and business. Specifically finances, but business, yeah.
All right, so you want to be a pilot, so maybe, you know, that as a hobby or something full-time, or you haven't decided yet? I mean, you don't have to be decide right away.
Full-time.
Yeah, full-time?
I have had that dream since I was 7, so it is there, can't go away. And even yesterday on the plane, I really did enjoy it, and I got to meet the captain and the co-pilot, yeah. So that just sparked the interest.
That's always excellent.
That was the first flight. Yeah.
Seems to me that Optimist International is in the business of helping young people to realize their dreams as well.
Definitely. I can say in high school, that's where my love, I'm in finance now, I'm in banking, compliance. And that's where my interest was sparked. Dealing with the club finances from high school, I was always entrusted with doing the treasury. High school, university, and now at the adult level one for the Caribbean district to manage that entire portfolio. It's not a coincidence that I'm in finance and I studied finance. And Tyrone's flight yesterday confirmed that he wants to become a pilot. And I loved the fact that that was facilitated and encouraged because he is a part of the Optimist movement, the joy, as he says, Junior Optimist International.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, managing such a large space will have its unique challenges, particularly because we're very, very similar, and I'm always overjoyed to see all of the platforms online where they kind of lump us together and they say, you know, we're Caribbeans, and they highlight all our similarities. But there are a few unique things that make us who we are, culturally, and of course, based on geographical space where we are in various countries. So what are a few of the challenges or things that you'd like to overcome by way of space, you know, based on the fact that you are limited by your interactions, that you'd like to change in the coming months, that we can work toward as we move forward?
I would say it's one-on-one and bonding, you know, getting to know members, that they have the right to always, you know, contact with me, Garvin, or any other district executive, whether you want some insight on a project, how to carry it out, or just general communication. So that's one of our major accomplishments that we want to happen, and it's one of the pressing concerns that we have.
Excellent. What's some of the training that you've received over time? Because I'm sure you didn't wake up one day dressing like this, seeming so confident.
Well, it started when I joined Joy in 2018, and since then I've had public speaking training, I've had stress management training, time management training, conflict resolution training, a whole different plethora of training, right? So this is just not a one day, one term Tyrone. It's been building and building, you know, to this.
All right, it's not a one day, one term Tyrone, he says.
I love that.
I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming in and sharing with us. I hope, Mr. Grandison, you get your dream to go to Rihanna Drive.
Oh, she's there.
Yes. I can't say that she is, but I won't say that she isn't. But I hope next time I see you, Mr. Grandison, that you are a step closer to your dreams overall. It's so wonderful always, as I said before, to speak with enterprising young people who are on the way up. And certainly Junior Optimist International is making that happen. So congrats to you, Mr. District Governor. I hope that you accomplish everything you need to on this trip. And thank you so much, Mr. District Treasurer for the Optimist International Caribbean District, for the accompaniment and for sharing with us all about the organization. I'm sure that any young people who are looking on
Yes.
will be more than interested
And I want to tell them.
in being a part of the organization.
And just quickly, I want to let them know that wherever you're watching from, you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, all the social media platforms. Optimist.org is an international organization, so wherever you are in the world, you can join a club, and we have virtual clubs as well.
All right, good stuff. What an interesting discussion. Good. Certainly hope that we have inspired a few young people to get out and join the Optimists. Again, we're looking toward World Humanitarian Day tomorrow, so shining a spotlight on those people who are in the business of service. We're going to take a break here for an update of the news. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. CBC is celebrating 60 years of broadcasting in Barbados. A friend and a helping hand in the community. CBC.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:02 on this Friday, August 18th. Time now for an update of the news. The recent TED Countdown Summit 2023 in Detroit, United States, tackled some of the knottier issues related to climate change, from the massive amount of money needed to finance the global green transition to the struggle for energy access in developing nations and the ecosystem effects of fast fashion. It offered glimpses of the world-changing solutions already underway to lead the world into a clean, prosperous future for all. Among the speakers was Barbadian economist Professor Avinash Prasad. He offered a three-point plan for the Bridgetown Initiative, dealing with costs, savings, and revenues. One of his proposals was for new sources of public finance.
Climate change, remember, is the increasing certainty of rising losses. It's uninsurable. So we need new sources of public finance. We need new emission taxes on oil and coal and methane. At the Motley-Macron summit in June in Paris, we made some progress towards taxing emissions on the shipping industry. We need more. And we need a small financial transaction tax, like the one you don't even realize you're paying today, that covers the cost of the US SEC. And energy and finance consumption is slanted to the rich.
Professor Prasad also contended that international lending institutions need to provide greater loans.
We need the international multilateral development banks like the World Bank to lend 3 times more on the Sustainable Development Goals, and to make that debt cheap by making it longer and lower cost. They can get halfway there by using the resources they already have. They're very conservative. And the other half, they need rich countries to put in a little bit more capital. Now, some people criticize me for saying, why are you going for cheap loans rather than grants? And I say, if you found $1 trillion stuffed behind a sofa, then okay. But grants will never be enough. And so let's focus the grants on those things that can't be funded any other way because there's no savings and profits.
The professor also suggests that investors need to have commitments to the developing world.
Solar farms, wind turbines, they make money whilst reducing greenhouse gases. In the rich countries, 81% of that is funded by the private sector. If we want developing countries to move faster than rich countries do, then we want those investors to go to the developing world. They don't today because of the high cost of guaranteeing their returns against the fluctuation of currencies. However, history shows that an international agency capitalized by rich countries that takes a diversified view across time and countries can lower the cost without losing money and by enough to unblock the flow of investments. And a small group of countries have agreed to move on a pilot this year. 3 buckets: small one for costs, middle one for savings, big one for revenues. There are a couple of things we also need to do that doesn't cost money. We need Barbados-style pause clauses in all debt instruments. When a disaster hits, your interest payments and debt repayments are suspended for 2 years, added back on till later when you can afford it. It will release billions of dollars and reshape the financial system. And as Prime Minister Motley says, if we want these institutions that were set up in the colonial era, if we want to trust them to save the world, then the people they serve cannot be invisible in the halls of power.
Legislative changes are being made to increase the number of police officers in Barbados. The news comes as the island records its highest number of new members in at least a decade. Our Sharika Griffith reports.
55 new police officers proudly displaying the training they've received over the past 6 months. But there was one obvious standout: Constable 2357 Shanice Lovell. Out of the 13 awards presented during the 147th Passing Out Parade, she claimed a staggering 11, including Best Recruit. This year's class represented a significant increase in recruits, up from 18 in 2017 and the 30s in the last few years. Attorney General Dale Marshall attributes it to an enhanced recruitment drive, which included advertisements and social media posts. But he notes this must be taken in context, as individuals also continue to leave the service due to retirement, resignation, medical discharge, and death.
In 2018, 58 officers left the service. In 2019, 36. In 2020, 30. In 2021, 27 officers left the service. And so far, in 2020, so far for this year, I believe, 2022, we had 53 leaving, and so far for this year, we've had 33 officers leaving. So if you compare the intake with those numbers of individuals leaving, you will see that we don't exactly have an equation that is leaning heavily towards increase in numbers.
While promising a fast tracking of better benefits as the finances of the country permit, Mr. Marshall also revealed plans to amend the Police Act to include 46 special constables and 36 island constables.
Already steps are being taken to fully incorporate the special constables into the police service. This has been long in coming by making amendments to the Police Act, and those amendments are currently on my desk for my final sign-off and will be in Parliament within the next 6 weeks. We will also be looking at making sure that our hard-working island constables are not left behind.
Commandant Rodney Archer says this year's course featured a shift away from hard copy to electronic lesson notes, in keeping with the service's drive to modernize operations.
This training, for the first time, included drone pilot training, thus expanding that pool of officers who can be fully trained up to be qualified drone pilots.
And Acting Commissioner of Police Erwin Boyce has warned the new officers to treat people fairly.
I do believe that within the past 6 months that you would have been taught how to manage police powers, as well as certain aspects of emotional intelligence. I wish to warn you that poor customer interaction will not be tolerated in the Barbados Police Service.
Already, 66 individuals are being vetted for the next cohort of police trainees. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Thank you so much, Sharika. Barbados will soon have the largest conference facility in the Caribbean. This from Senior Minister in the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for infrastructural projects, Dr. William Duguid. CBC's Trevor Thorpe reports. All right, we apologize for not having that clip. Remember, you'll be able to catch up on what's happening news-wise right here on TV8 a little bit later, 12 noon. We have Newsday coming your way, followed by The World at 1 on our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
CBC is celebrating 60 years of broadcasting in Barbados. A friend and a helping hand in the community. CBC, connecting Barbadian communities. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. Your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond. Every last Monday of the month on CBC TV8. Kickoff time, 8:30 p.m. with analysis from our panel and highlights of the top performances. You can weigh in on the discussion via WhatsApp on 228-5562. It's Match Day Live from the 246. Don't you miss it.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
When you think of the oil company, what images are painted in your mind? Hopefully, you said pumping units and barrels of oil. However, the Barbados National Oil Company is more than that. We bet you didn't know that from the flip of the switch to the key turning in your vehicle ignition, that is BNOCL. Listen and learn more.
I'm Vic Fernandez, Chairman of Barbados National Oil Company and Barbados National Terminal Company, BNTCL and BNOCL. Well, what makes BNOC unique? Many things make us unique in that BNOC is the only company in Barbados charged with the responsibility nationally of importing and distributing all energy products in Barbados, and also in many respects in the vanguard of the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy. So it kind of bridges straddles both. It also is the company that imports essentially all of the energy products, whether it's Barbados Light and Power, whether it's the gas station distributors, the big companies, or whether it's even for things like aviation fuel and natural gas. Now, you would recall, or some would recall, that around 2014, 2015, we essentially were unable to produce 100% of our natural gas needs in Barbados. Barbados is unique in this part of the Caribbean in that we do produce natural gas, and we have piped natural gas going to many households across Barbados. That makes it very unique. That job is done by National Petroleum Corporation, but Barbados National Oil Company is the company that imports the LNG, which is really the liquefied natural gas that is then converted into natural gas by BNOCL and then sent on to MPC. So it's a unique company in many respects. It is charged with the responsibility also to drill for oil, to drill for natural gas, and also to have some relationship when Barbados ultimately goes to offshore drilling as well. But also along the way, we are doing a number of things in terms of experimenting with other forms of fuel. wind power, for example, renewable energy. We touched on that a few moments ago. And then there's also biogas too as well. So there's several other smaller projects which BNOCL is working on to see if all of these can be fed into the national grid of Barbados and therefore reduce the consumption of foreign exchange out of Barbados. So these two companies, BNOCL and BNTCL, do a remarkable job quietly and in many respects too quietly, in my opinion, behind the scenes, but gets the job done. BNOCL is also responsible for the procurement of all the energy products. That means also having to negotiate and find the best prices wherever they are. We have a ship that is leased that works continuously for us, going from port to port, country to country, wherever the best deals are, wherever the supplies are. That is essentially what makes, in a nutshell, I hope that was, BNOCL a unique company.
Join us next time as we tell you all about the Barbados National Oil Company Limited.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oistins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game with Dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
Cometh the hour, cometh the Ugandan. Holloway defends his title. Glorious goal to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. With the heart of an
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So throughout the crop over season, we brought you Mix It in 5, a soca journey with DJ Chili. Of course, trying to see how many songs he can mix in 5 minutes, sharing the music of the festival, some of the old faithfuls and some of the new ones as well. And the last one we shared was mix number 8. We're going to reveal to you now exactly how that went and those particular songs that were a part of that mix. He managed to get 21 songs in that 5-minute mix. It was truly amazing. It's amazing to see him at work. And of course, we're winding down this particular segment because it was all about sharing during crop over and building that level of energy to encourage you to get out to all of the festival events and so on. And we certainly know that you enjoyed them. Barbadians, you went out in your numbers. We had bumper crowds here. We had people who came to the island from all across the region and the world to be a part of the festival. And from all accounts, it truly was a very successful one. Of course, we had some glitches, as is the case with everything. But generally, overwhelmingly so, I think we had a fantastic festival for 2023, particularly because it was our first big year back after taking a break and getting some of crop over, you know, kind of toes in the water type thing, and not necessarily the full-on effect of the crop over festival. So we truly are on the rise and we can only get better from here on in. All right, so let's take in the Mix It in 5 with DJ Chili.
Soca Journey, a drive through Soca.
Yeah, it's just the. Homie say, hey, girl,
Girl, be careful how you whine for me. But as your hair right now, I want you tick, pon the top, girl top, pon the top, I want you tick, pon the top, girl top, pon the top.
Them just a lava and pale for me, I don't give up, don't give up. Them just a run off the mouth and sit down for me business. I don't give up, don't give up.
Any drink that the bag give me plenty. Call it liquor shot at the century. Now the thing start. Me love me drinks to me heart and me essentials. To the head, hit the liver. We drink plenty liquor. We don't pay with it. We don't pay.
You know me love it when you push back and you roll the waistline. I could tell you the waistline. Before your bumper go up and down, round and round. You guys are seeing when you push back and you roll the waistline. I could tell you the waistline. Before your bumper go up and down, round and round. You guys
see, I don't like being no design no more. I want to be jumping right there in the center. Too much a lonely nights, I'm tired of being alone. I want to be right there jumping in the center.
So come let me touch it and let me play with it, girl.
And let me touch it up a little bit.
And rub it how you liking it, girl.
And let me touch it up.
Come let me touch it and let me play with it, girl.
And let me go down in it.
Tell me rub it how you liking it, girl.
You wanna be my sticky link? You wanna be my sticky link? Come let me give you this bump flick. Come let me give you this bump flick. Hey, you wanna be my sticky link? You wanna be my sticky link? Come let me give you this bump flick. Come let me give you this.
Girl, wine for me now. Give me little taste for my line for me now. Hey. From behind anyhow, pressure any place when you wine to the ground. Make it clap, make it loud. You can make it shake and that make it proud. Dice it. You had the vibe on the ground. Let's get in a line, looking nice and low.
Girl, when you roll it, grind pon the rhythm, control it. Stallion with the knees, just hold it. My girl, when you roll, girl, when you roll. Girl, when you roll it, grind pon the rhythm, control it. Stallion with the knees, just hold it. My girl, when you roll.
Can't tell me how to live my life. I just come up for somebody.
Give me chuka, 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 'cause you got the cure. Give me chuka, 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 give me chuka.
So we tell them, boom, you can't trust them, do not trust them. Don't trust them, never trust them. You can't trust them, do not trust them. Who you think is the best is your worst friend. You can't trust them, do not trust them. Don't trust them, never trust them. Pass them the right, don't trust them.
I put my hand on my knees and roll. Hold on back control. I wanna bend in the road and roll it. Come now, come baby. I put my hand on my knees and roll. Hold on back control. I wanna bend in the road and roll it. Yeah, baby. I've been waiting all year to take part in this festive time. How you mean I can't wine? Can't wine. You're never too young to fit, little bit. Too young to jump, little bit. Too young to wine, little bit. Too young to party.
Girl, your body made for me. Make your bumper breathe for me. Why not make it shake for me? Bubble up your waist for me. I am blessed. 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 In the beginning, God made Adam and Eve, and Eve met Adam with the apple and caused their trouble. Adam in light and bubble, I'm down to you know he was wrong when he started to twerk and bubble and go down to the dirt. And I make things worse, cause Adam makes out. Oh yeah. Watch how she take and she tuck and she left and she jump and she settle when she on the top. Girl, let me see that thing catch. What up, you take and you talk. Like bada bing, bada boom. All a week, all a cool. She a freak, me too. You a week, girl a gorgeous.
I can tell she mad, I don't think she down here. Tell
she mother, don't send she down. But she's a hard-eared girl, look a lot done. Tell she mother, don't send she. Tell she mother, don't send she. Tell she mother, don't send she down.
When we get inside of the bed, you had better move out the way. It's big woman that coming through, and you want a sip and a taste of this fine wine. The girl them looking just like fine wine.
I know that you're looking for it. She lift it up, she send it on back. She lift it up, she send it on back. Attitude stink when she working done. Damn, like that. She lift it up, she send it on back. She lift it up, she send it on back. She causing a scene, but she don't give up. Damn.
Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and DigiChiliBarbados.com.
Send in your list, ladies and gentlemen, to get a chance to win right here and mix it in 5.
Hey, thank you so much, Chili. Oh man, good stuff. And those of course were a lot of the new tunes for Crop Over 2023 that we love and enjoyed for the festival for this time around. DJ Chili, he's been around for quite some time. I don't know if a lot of people know, but he is also an artist himself, performing with the Fraud Squad throughout the years. So he has some pretty interesting songs too. I think my favorite song from them was Bring Drinks, Somebody Can Pay. Yeah, that was definitely a fun song to hear about. So make sure that you get yourselves together. Make sure that you were listening carefully. The good thing about that mix is it's still online in the stream, right? So go back and see if you can list all of those songs and the artists that were featured in that particular Mix It in 5 mix down by DJ Chili, and you're emailing it to morningbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. So morningbarbados@cbc.bb. Send it in, and let's see if you can be one of the lucky winners of Mix It in 5. Good stuff. So the last Mix It in 5, which was mix number 8 for that playlist, in that particular one, he had McFinger, Bacon, Mikey Come Together, Bobo, I Wanna Know, Crossfire featuring Edwin with Road Jam, then Crossfire again with Family, Bobo with Pyromania, Davy Dan with Understand, Major Shaki, Take Me to Carnival, then Walk Up Man, Jabe with We Day, Rupee, Uh-Oh, Crossfire, Yardy Graduation, Fraud Squad with Walking Truck, that's another one from Chili. Lil Rick then back to back with The Truck and Friends, Outpatient with Pooch Back and Get What, these names right? Timmy with Bumper Catch a Fire and Worse Than That. Lil Rick with Can't Dance So, Captain Sawyer, Big, Fat and Thick, the Roadmates, don't forget that part. And Bashment Men's I Feel So Good. How about that? What a mix. And of course, very interesting names. We know the titles, but putting them all together, it definitely is a task. Hey, we're going to take a break and come on back. When we come back, we're sitting down with Georgie. He has a brand new music video that he's sharing with us here on TV8. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
popular snow cone, one authentically homegrown. It surpassed gold and platinum. It was in every tabloid and news, on Twitter and IG, millions of views. Comments galore, can't ask for more. Rihanna had that Midas touch, and so she shows it very much. You are like gold. All that you sell gets sold. You got a touch of class, even with ice in your glass, in your glass, in your glass, even with ice in your glass. Ice in the glass is no big task. Some condensed milk to flavor it. Then 2 squirts of ginger syrup. That's all she need to make it work. Put a straw in it, put it on your lip and take a sip. The snow cone is now an online hit. He didn't even charge her a bloody cent, but that was his biggest moment. You are like gold. All that you sell gets sold. You got a touch of class, even with ice in your glass, in your glass, in your glass, even with ice in your glass. When you are a billionaire beauty.
I don't think there's anything more Bajan than a snow cone on a hot day. We even have a few little Bajan analogies and Bajanisms that tie right into that. You won't last as long as a snow cone on a hot day. How about that? Just so to really see that video with Rihanna with that snow cone, it truly was, no pun intended, refreshing. Hey, let's welcome Leroy Straker, aka Georgie. It's always good to have you with me in the morning.
Yes, nice to be here too, T.
All right, so a fella in the back told me to ask you, where do you find all the time to write all of this fantastic music?
Yeah.
You release quite a few songs and videos every year, and I answered him for you, Georgie.
Yeah?
So I don't need you to even answer that question.
Okay.
You're a retired fella.
Yeah.
So I know that you enjoy writing your poetry, and this particular one was a poem that became a song. So talk to me about that transition.
Well, we've got a lot of time on hand. I retired now 17 years or so, you know. So as you just said, you know, I have been writing poems now for the past 4 years consistently. And when you were at the other place, you know, I shared a lot of my poems.
You can say the other place is still CBC.
94.7 FM on radio. I would call you on mornings with these poems that I write, you know. So I continue to write these poems. And this song came out of a poem that I wrote just a couple of weeks ago. Actually, Rihanna was here with her boyfriend. Family. And she went and got this snow cone from this guy. She liked milk and she liked the ginger syrup and that sort of thing.
Coconut
and ginger and things. So that made headlines and it was big on all the tabloids. I saw it and I decided, you know something, I'm going to write something on this thing. So I wrote this poem, you know, Rihanna is totally Bajan to the bone. And I read it on another station on Slam. And Gaynell and Saul liked that poem. And I subsequently shared it with Kimberly Skeet here. And she liked the poem too, Georgie. This is a beautiful poem, you know?
Yeah.
So I said, since these persons are telling me this poem is so beautiful, let me see if we can put a little chant to it. So I called my arranger, the fellow who used to arrange music for me back in the day, Ricky Brathwaite.
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah. He's still around doing fantastic music. This year he produced some good songs too. So I called Ricky Brathwaite and I said, Ricky, you know, I read this poem for 2 announcers and they like it, so I want to put a little chant to it, man. He said, Georgie, you got time? Come to the studio, man. See him there.
Georgie had time.
I got the time on hand. So I went to the studio and no tune, you know, no melody I got, just words on a paper. So Ricky said, Georgie, you got a tune? I said, no, I ain't got no tune to this thing. He said, all right, man, we can do something. Just do it line after line. Rihanna is truly Bajan to the bone. She recently returned back home and he got on the computer and he started putting something. And we spent 4 hours in the studio.
Wow.
There. He said, well, Georgie, you know, you got to get a hook for this thing, you know. It must have a chorus. I said, chorus? We got to get a chorus? No, he said, yeah, man, I can't have a song for a chorus. We must have a hook on it. And we stopped in the studio at the same time. And he said, chorus, all right. You were like gold. Oh, that just, he said, sing that again, Georgie. And they go on again. You were like gold. All that you sell. That was something else, you know. You got some class, even with ice in your glass, even with ice in your glass. Georgie, sing that again, I can record that, man. You know, and we spent the time there, and that's how the song came about. Now, after we done the song, Ricky told me, Georgie, to get a real spooch emphasis, we got to get a real guitar, because he was using a keyboard guitar, and he said this wasn't good enough. He wanted a real guitar, so he called a fellow called Lloyd Denny. Lloyd Denny plays in a lot of bands in Barbados, and Lloyd Denny came into the studio and...
I know Lloyd.
Lloyd, yeah. And he started working the guitar. And Lloyd get to like the song too. He said, listen, man, I gotta put some funk in this here, a little bit of funk. So he put this little funk in this thing, you know. I took it then to my videographer. The videographer said, Georgie, I like this here, man. I can write up a story on this. And he would put a story together and he'd send it back to me. And the next day, then, I picked him up, met him. We went to do the video, you know. Where he said that you gotta get a snow cone, man. You gotta dress like a snow cone. You gotta get a snow cone, man. You gotta get a snow cone cart and that sort of thing. We went down through town looking for a snow cone cart. We went to bus stand, we got a snow cone cart. And the fella took us to Travers Way out there, and we started doing the video from then, you know. And then we realized, talking to the guy, that the guy who we did the video with is brother to the guy that Rihanna got her snow cone from. He said, yeah.
Well, small world, man.
World, you know, so that was it. And then we went to Rihanna Place then, Rihanna Drive, and completed it there, look at the video and see this thing, you know, went through the video, I put a good package to it. I sent this song then to YouTube, Julian's promo. They tell me it's going to take 2 years to process it, get it done. About 40 minutes after, Ricky Braffett called me and told me that he got a call from a strange call. Yeah, so he put it in video. I said, no, it's not up yet. He said, but a man from India called me about this video. He said he liked this video. He wanted to do a collab with this Georgie. He didn't know how to get in contact with Georgie. So Ricky gave me the number, and I called the father then. When I went on YouTube, I saw the song up. It was up in less than an hour, and hits already. You know, views and things. I said, yeah, they told me they're going to be up in 2 days' time.
Yeah.
And in just less than an hour, the video was up. So I contacted this fella from India. But you know, saying you got to be careful with these people for out there you don't know much about. He told me he got all these other sites in India, and he, you know, so I could make some contacts with him. He put this in this thing. He said, this someone's going to do well, this someone's going to do well. And then that was it. I had calls from the United States about the song and everything. So we're still there working with the song and thing. But that's how the song came out. From a poem. You know, from a poem.
That's excellent. That's a really great story, Georgie. And I love your stories. I love your poems. You know, I got time for you all day long.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it truly is your love. I want you to talk to us, though, about what writing poetry and making music and so on does for you as somebody who's been retired for 17 years. And let me just say, Georgie is one of these people. He keeps me in the know as to where he's going. So every few months, Georgie is on a ship, and he's sailing away to somewhere. You're always doing things. As somebody who's been retired for so long, you truly enjoy retirement.
I live the life. I enjoy my life. And all through the years that I've been living here in Barbados, you know, you did a lot of financial seminars as well.
Yeah.
And I would always tell people.
I know that you wrote two books already on finances as well.
That is still being sold. Only last month, a guy called me and he asked me to bring 5 books to his company for him. He employs people, and the young people that he employs, they're bad with their money. So he heard me on a radio interview talking about the money, and he said, listen, Georgie, bring 5 of your books to me. I want to give them to these young people here and teach them how to use their money, because when I pay them on Fridays, by Monday they're broke again.
I want to borrow some money.
Yeah.
Hello to all my nieces and nephews.
So yes, I got this time on hand and I use it wisely. Get up in the morning, say my prayer, go for a jog, a swim or whatever, and then I come back, and sometimes once I feel like it, I will start writing some poetry, and I call radio stations with my poetry and get some licks sometimes too, because of the poetry that I will write. Because sometimes the moderators believe there's not the right place for the poetry, the right place, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't have any problem with the content. So I write these things, And it gives me a great inspiration, and it also inspires others too, you know, when I write this poetry, because people see me as a good writer, and I write things that are topical, you know. Like you said, the cruises, when I see a nice, relatively cheap cruise, I jump on it and I go. I did the transatlantic cruise here just last month.
Quickly, Georgie, tell me all the places you've been on these cruises so far.
All through the Caribbean, Canada, United States. I haven't done Panama Canal.
You love cruising, though.
The last one I did Italy, Greece, Israel, Spain.
Yeah. I mean, but you truly are a jack of all trades. Finances, writing music, writing poetry.
Athletics.
Athletics. I know that your mainstay career, you were what we call a pharmacist now, but used to call a druggist. That's what you retired from.
Yeah.
Really?
38 years working at a QEH, and then I was senior pharmacist at the psychiatric hospital where I retired from in 2006.
Yeah. You definitely are one of these people that we salute every single day. For really just keeping it going. I mean, a lot of people think that people retire and they go home and blah, 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 but you really make the best of it.
I move, I do a lot of things. I do my exercises on a daily basis as well. I inspire others to get a life, good life, live the good life.
All right. Well, we have some more work to do, Georgie, so don't go too far. So make sure you check out that video. It's on YouTube. Check it out, Georgie. It's called Drinks on Ice.
Ice in your glass.
Ice in your glass.
Ice in your glass. Ice in your glass.
Ice in your glass by Georgie, featuring Rihanna with the ultimate ice in your glass drink, a snow cone with ginger and coconut, please.
And milk.
And condensed milk. All right, we're going to take a break here. Thanks for coming in, Georgie. Always good to see you. Always good to see Georgie. Hey, we're going to take a break here and come on back on today's presentation of Morning Barbados. If you're wondering why I'm so happy, it's because it's Friday. I get to sleep late tomorrow. So if that is your tune, kudos to you. Peter, who's here with me in studio, is saying, he feels the same way too. Hey, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The One is more than a station. We don't just play music, we keep your company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners. And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One. Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, it's 7:43 on this Friday. Hey, just like one full week and a little bit left in August. So I hope you're getting ready for back to school, getting the little ones ready with books and school uniforms and so on. I know in Barbados we love that back to school rush though. So make sure you get everything. It might be a little wonky with the uniforms, you know, once the children weren't in school every single day for the last few years. I think the last school year is the first time that they were back in school full time. So a lot of the places that got the uniforms and so on, they weren't bringing as many uniforms, so it's going to take a while to kind of get back into what we're accustomed to, having as many uniforms as we need and so on. I know you want to cover these school books and do all that stuff as well, so get on it in the early. Hey, I have to say a special good morning to this guy who brightens our Friday mornings with his Soca Journey mixes. A special good morning to DJ Chili. How are you doing, fellow?
Good morning. I am hot. I'm tired. And I would say I had a really good crop over this year.
Should I sell you out?
Yes, because I already tell everybody that in the studio working with you right now, the first thing you can do this morning is sell me out. So go ahead, Tisha. You got permission.
You knew that I would sell you out, right?
Yes, I told him that.
You know me so well. So Chili is supposed to be here in studio. And Chili says he got a flat tire. I had to go back. Listen, I mean, we're accustomed talking to you like this in New Jersey. I know you're here in Barbados, and we still have to talk to you over the internet.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Next time, in my school days, we would say catch a Marco Polo, but now you know, get on the bus. They're electric buses, and you're up north. You can get on the bus, and it comes directly here past CBC. So there's no excuse to me. You should have left the car and caught a bus.
No, you see, you talking all my business over because the thing is now is that I don't know which bus to catch. I catch buses so long.
Listen, the good thing about Barbados is there are bus stops that say to city and out of city. And there are lots of wonderful people who, if you say, how do I get to CBC from here? They say, catch the bypass.
No, they say, go so around the corner there, pass the cow, and go straight.
So Chili, how was your crop over season? I saw you on a truck on Kadooment Day, one of the few trucks that reached where I was in Blackrock, owing to that unfortunate incident. But I know you were here for a few weeks before the big grand finale. So how was it for you?
Crop over this year was really good. First I got to talk about is the music. The music was well rounded. When they say well rounded, as DJs will know and people that know BPMs, you know, from the slowest BPM to the fastest BPM, you could find a session of, like, in every area you can find a session of music you can play. It was well rounded. Raga soca, bashment soca, and pace soca or power soca.
That's wonderful. What about the various events that you were able to be a part of or attend?
Well, I played for the Bridgetown Market pop-up. Those were good. Was side Golden Square. Actually, everybody thought that crop over normally finish, you know, after the Monday Kadooment Day, crop over is finished. But this year, the NCF took it to a different level where they actually had the Bridgetown Market pop-up the following Saturday. So that is when crop over officially finished. I also did Bridgetown Market 2 days. I also did 4-day morning for the start in BTI Car Park, and I did the truck for the NCF for Kadooment Day.
Oh, that's excellent. Now, Chili, you are a rounded person when it comes to not only DJing, but you've made music through the years. You know, several singles, 2 albums with Fraud Squad, and you just keep on keeping on. These days, you're based outside of Barbados, but you just keep coming back. What is it about music that calls you in this way that if it isn't DJing, it's singing, it always has to be something with music?
I think it's in my blood, and I would say it started from my grandfather, late Luther Jordan, and it just trickled down to uncles. My mother had peace as well. Mommy Chili had peace as well. My dad had peace, and 2 cousins, and then it was me. So when it get to my time, that's when, like, you used to have all these street fairs and the Dutch parties and stuff back in the day. I just took it from there and make it into a business.
What's a Dutch party? I don't think I've ever heard that term.
Only yesterday we were talking about the Dutch party.
Does it have anything to do with swingers? I'm sorry. This is Morning TV. Let me take that off the table. Sorry. What's a Dutch party?
Well,
sorry.
As far as I know what a Dutch party is, and I could be corrected because I'm not that old, teacher, right? A Dutch party is a party where you actually pay to come in, and I think the food is free, but you pay for drinks. I think that's the difference. And difference in music that you can play. You can play a wide variety of music. While back in the days when you had dances, what we call the oldie-goldie dances, it was mostly just oldie-goldies the whole night. along with some vintage reggae.
All right, somebody tell us what a Dutch party is. That sounds like Chili's guessing. I'm not sure.
That's what we got.
I know you're trying to convince us that you're not that old, but I know that you've told me that you've played at places like Baku, Shipping, the Plantations, Sugar Ultra Long, Club Extreme. These are all places that have, gone out with the editors, through the editors. So
I would embrace those, because if you talk about the older ones, then I can just okay, you should register me. But I had a. Go ahead.
Continue. No, tell me.
No, I have been on the circuit for a long time. Always look at myself as a versatile DJ. I try whatever genre that I'm playing. I try to know as much as possible the genre, the history, and that kind of stuff, and then the rest just go by talent, I guess.
Yeah, that's evident in the way you mix, and there are a few brands that you've developed through the years. Most notable, I think, is Soca Journey. I absolutely love the idea of a Soca Journey, literally, figuratively, however you spin it. And I certainly hope to see you develop that brand a whole lot more in future as we move forward. Another pig out of another bag now. Music truly is in the family, because you are related also to DJ Ras.
A lot of people don't know that. Yes, we are first cousins.
Yes. So very interesting stuff. A very interesting CBC connection too. So that's a good thing. So where are you hoping to take this music, Chili? We've not heard you singing that much, but I know that behind the scenes you've been working on beats. I think that you've been thinking a little bit about heading back to producing or co-producing. So what's next for you as far as music is concerned?
Well, I always looking to either implement something new or take it to another level, as people like to say. I would love to say, I'm going to say this, For Our Squad should be back out next year.
Good stuff.
And then, coming up with more programs and more ideas, like Mix It in 5. Somebody actually saw me on one of the events and tell me it should have been longer. So I asked them, do you know how long that Mix It in 5, that 5 minute takes to actually produce? They thought it takes 5 minutes to produce. People don't know that something like that, hours. It could take days. I can't hear you, Tisha.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
You know what? Cometh the hour, cometh the Ugandan. Holloway defends his title. Glorious goal to Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price. With the heart of an American lion, Lyles has roared back to the top. 2 world records in one night. We're watching a once-in-a-generation athlete. The practice, is it on?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have some gremlins in here this morning. They're trying to ruin our Friday, but we're not going to let that happen. So my mic went dead, so we apologize for that technical challenge. I believe DJ Chili is still there with us.
Yes, I'm here.
There you are. He's the one he said, I can't hear your mic. Yeah, but I want to thank you for coming on, and you're going to be leaving soon, but it's no excuse. You still have to come into the studio. That's the rule, all right?
Of course, I know.
Yeah, always great to see you. You're always working on fantastic initiatives. I know that you are certainly passing it on to the next generation because your son, OJ, also is a DJ.
DJ Mars.
DJ Mars. And doing fantastic things too. So love the shirt and those branded shirts that you brought with you. So they have some Soca Journey. They have some great Bajan messages and stuff on them as well. So where can we find you quickly? I know you're on SoundCloud. You're on YouTube. Where else can we find you?
That's basically it for now. When it comes to mixes and stuff, it's SoundCloud, is YouTube. Otherwise than that, if it comes to bookings and stuff, is www.djchilibarbados. That's my website, and all social media platforms are DJ Chili Barbados. All right,
I want to thank you, and know that you've gotten that flat tire fixed. I expect you to be at the corporation.
I know it was coming.
So we will see you soon, DJ Chili. Fantastic work through the years.
Thank you.
Keep on keeping on.
Thank you.
It's always good to get to know, what's happening behind the scenes. And he is truly one of those people who continues to fly the flag high for Barbadian music. So we've been telling you all day that tomorrow is World Humanitarian Day. And that's why we got Morning Barbados today started telling you all about a service organization, the Junior Optimist International, and of course the Adult Club to them. And the United Nations World Humanitarian Day is held on August 19th every single year. And the day honors all humanitarians who've worked in the promotion of the humanitarian cause and those who have lost their lives in the cause of duty. It aims to increase public awareness about humanitarian assistance activities worldwide and the importance of international cooperation. So if there's anyone who you know who can be deemed a humanitarian, make sure you salute them tomorrow. I know that a number of Barbadians got humanitarian awards coming out of COVID. So this is a special day for you as well. Make sure you wear your pins tomorrow and show them off. Don't only keep them in those beautiful little holders that they were shared in. Now you saw the poster, Verdun and Marina Houses. They're in the community tomorrow. They're going to be at Sky Mall, Haggett Hall from around 5, I think they told us. Was it 5 o'clock? I'm not absolutely sure. But they're going to be at Sky Mall tomorrow. So you can go on through, ask a few questions, and find out more about it. Kiwanis Club of Barbados Benevolence presents a fundraising concert in aid of community projects featuring the Barbados Police Service Band. That's tomorrow at Prince Cave Hall, District A Police Station, Station Hill as well. That starts at 7 o'clock in the evening. So you can check that out. Community Independence Celebrations Parish Zonal Talent, the Southern Zone, that's in Michael, St. Philip and Christchurch. Tomorrow, too, they're at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre. And the Northern Zone, St. Lucie, St. Peter, St. James, and St. Andrew, they're going to be next Saturday, August 26, 6 p.m. at the Darrell Jordan Secondary School. Now, projects safeguarding our future today are Project SOFT, the annual residential camp hosted by the National Council on Substance Abuse, or the NCSA, is here again, and it's free. The camp will be held over the period of August 20th to the 26th at the Eastern Caribbean Camp, Ruby in St. Philip. I'm not sure you can still register, but you should give them a call to find out a little bit more about the camp. Mount Pisgah Spiritual Baptist Church, they have a week of celebrations from August 20th to 25th as well. So there's something for you to do over the weekend. And the 19th Caribbean Internet Governance Forum and the 2nd Caribbean Youth Internet Governance Forum will take place from the 22nd to the 24th of August. It's also an opportunity for you to win a fellowship. If you go to the ICANN website, I went on there myself, and they give you options on how you can sign up for a chance at a fellowship. and it's a wonderful fellowship. You get to go to Puerto Rico to find out more about how the internet is governed and, of course, share your views. Then the National Olympic Academy of the Barbados Olympic Association will be hosting a museum tour at the Barbados Olympic Center tomorrow. No, that's next week, next Friday, August 25th, from 3 to 7. We talked about that yesterday. And finally, the St. James South Neighborhood Watch Network Group, they're having a flea market next week as well, August 26th, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They encourage you to call the constituency branch to find out more about that. So thank you for sharing the time with us this morning on Morning Barbados. As you go through your day, I want to encourage you to wear your smiles. Have a great weekend. Get some rest if you've been going, because we don't want you gone. We want you back here on Monday. On behalf of the entire crew, remember to wear your smiles. Have a great weekend, and make sure you get up at 6 and join us here on Morning Barbados. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados.